Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be checking out the X-7a left field artillery launch, and as the name might imply, this location is closely related to the X-7b Boomtown target zone, which we covered in the last episode. Now, this location is actually quite far from Boomtown, but these artillery cannons here will launch and hit Boomtown, revealing some secret loot, and we'll show that later in the video. So let's waste no more time and let's get into it. And as you can see here on the world map, X-7a left field artillery launch is in the southwestern corner of the map, kind of by the cuckoo's nest. Now, as you approach, you will obviously see these two very large cannons, and we'll see this sign for X-7a. Now, at the hole in the fence here, the first time you approach, you'll probably encounter a ton of lobotomites and those Y-17 trauma harnesses. And it's actually a very difficult fight. However, when I came to visit the Cuckoo's Nest very early on in the playthrough of this DLC, I was ambushed by them. They came all the way over to the Cuckoo's Nest. I used a Fat Man or a mini nuke in order to help clear them out. The only thing here this time was the RY-589 Ultimo bot, which is just a special kind of boss, sentry bot. He can be a bit difficult to fight, but I decided to actually use my alien blaster for once. Now, the ammo in the alien blaster is finite, you cannot get any more, but might as well use it before, well, I almost complete the entire game. Now, on the body, we can find a lair and some ammunition. In the back of this truck here, we can find a missile launcher, if you need it, probably not, but if you need it, it is there. And in the middle here, we can find this central platform with some lockers that contain drained energy cells and some chems. Also, there are some missiles on the shelf over here. But the main attraction that we want to see is the other platform further to the west, or it's like southwest over here. There's these trucks over here with these artillery shells inside of them. And on this platform, we can find the launch controls for one of the artillery cannons. Now, there might be some good loot on the platform, so make sure to check out the crates. And then if we press the button on the control panel, the artillery will fire. And you can actually fire the artillery unlimited as many times as you want. However, it doesn't make any impact and we don't see any explosions. And after you fired it just once, it will reveal the hidden loot at X-7b Boomtown. But before we head on over there, I wanted to come over to this large kind of platform where obviously they were doing some work on the artillery here. At this facility, they were testing saturnite artillery shells and seeing their destruction on Boomtown. And if we come over here to the south, we can find the command center for the artillery launch, and there's also a truck that crashed into the building. Maybe when the bombs fell, there was some chaos. There's also a marking from Ulysses on the outside. Inside, we can find some proton throwing axes, and there is also a truck inside of this building. As I said, a truck kind of crashed into this building, causing all kinds of chaos. It appears that these people here, these skeletons, were killed by the truck coming into the building. Pretty freaking amazing. Now, as you can see, there were also some ammunition crates, and over here on the kind of this shelf here for the main control panel, we can find the recipe for explosives skill book. So make sure you pick up that bad boy because, hey, it's pretty good. After that, there is a cabinet behind the command center with a Ulysses marking on it that just contains some random food or chem stuff like that. Now, if we head on over to X-7b, which is next to the X-8 Research Center, we will now find a new crater created by the artillery that we launched, and inside of this footlocker, we can find the Atomic Valence Tri-Radi Oscillator and recipes for the gun skill book. Pretty darn good. The oscillator will regenerate your health, kind of like the accentuators that you can also find throughout Big MT. And one last interesting thing I just wanted to mention is the artillery guns located here are actually the same ones from Fallout 3's Operation Anchorage at the Artillery Overlook. However, these are much smaller than the ones in Fallout 3, but it's still like the same asset. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Unexplored Mojave. If you have any recommendations or ideas for future locations, future videos, please post them in the comments section below, and as always, until next time.